And good morning. It is a cold and bright spring morning. The sun's only been up for about 30 or 40 minutes. It was, I should say, a very cold morning, but it is rapidly warming up. All the frost is gone already. And I would like to remind everyone we are only 1 month out from my picnic event. Yizz the Eunuch at protonmail.com is where you can reach me. Reach me on Gab or Twitter PM in my inbox. Reach me on Telegram in my Telegram group. That's Yizz the Eunuch Open Forum. You can find the links to my social media there. Also, for those of you that know how to find me on Discord, you can do that as well. I only have 6 people that say they want to come to the picnic, and we're only 1 month out. So I would love there to be more people. Last year, we already had double this many people interested at this time. So please let me know if you want to be involved in my picnic event. It's already funded. It's not going to cost you any money. It's just going to be an entire Saturday, April 13th, of us having good social time. It's family friendly. You can bring your dog and your kids if you want. It's at a beautiful lakeside park. I'll have plenty of meats, steak kebabs, bacon wrapped pork chops, burgers, etc. We're just going to grill and have a great time. Having good fellowship. So before we get started today, I wanted to make an announcement about that because there's not many people thus far. I'm going to be making official posts all over social media about it again, just to try to see if I can get some more people involved. But if you want to be involved, let me know. Now, we have important things to talk about today, and we're going to take a walk. But before I start, I want to remind you of where I am right now. I am on a hill, a farm hill, that overlooks my piece of this Appalachian Shire. You got the wealthy people neighborhood. You've got many small neighborhoods and villages all throughout like the surrounding 3 to 5 mile area here. Mine, of course, is over that way. And this is where we're at. And then you have more over here. There's a golf course past the wealthy people neighborhood. And this is where I'm at. Why have I decided to live here and not where I was? Why did I choose to come back here? Why did I want to come back here to where I'm from after traveling and seeing many places of not just the continental U.S., but a few other places in the world when I was younger? After all I learned, all of my failures and my adult wisdom, why did I come back here? Keep that in mind for what we're going to talk about. Today, we're going to talk about managing the darknesses and the evils and the depression and the ugliness inside you. Because I have a friend who is very troubled, and I've been trying to help her for many, many years. And she's not in a good place. She comes from a long life of abuse, problems. She lives in Australia, so she sees the cancer and the rot. She sees the anti-whiteism around her all the time. She sees never-ending waves of migrants. She sees the decay, the stupidity, the deracination of her own people. And even worse, everyone in a position of power seems to hate her and want to perpetuate all of this evil stuff. And that only dovetails with her personal darknesses to make her just at the edge of her sanity and depression very often. And I do my best to help her with that. I've known this friend for 10 years, right at 10 years, maybe a little more or a little less, but around exactly a decade I've known this person. She and I have similar interests in video games, hobbies, similar interests in political stuff, similar interests in promoting general racial awareness and white well-being for the Western people of Earth. And so we have a lot of reasons to be friends. But it's hard to be her friend sometimes because she has not embraced or understood or something that keeps her from dwelling on her negativity and focusing on the have-nots instead of the haves. Now, I know that many of you out there are have-nots, like I have been, like in some ways I still am. But we have to talk today about managing darkness and finding reasons to not let that crush you and why that matters. All of us have darknesses, some way worse than others, like my friend in Australia. Horrible family, abused, lives in a terrible situation, has no lifeline. Things have not gone well for her the last 10 years. Family falling apart, COVID insanity, white erasure, mass migration, prices going up, there's no work. It's rough. It's hard for her there. And she struggles with depression, suicide, that kind of thing all the time, every day. And for those of you that know me, you know that I have a lot of darkness in my past too. And that I struggle with depression and used to struggle with suicide. I used to struggle with that a lot. Feeling hopeless, negative, like I was totally alone. And that no one understood me and no one around me was capable of growing or changing or helping me not feel alone. And I was riddled with that. I was depressed and angry and dark. What helped me get away from that? Well, a few things, and we're going to talk about them today. Primarily, I had one person in my life help counsel me and tell me that life is inevitably and inherently dark and ugly. Doesn't matter if you were born privileged and you're wealthy, eventually you come to the understanding that you're going to die. You're sick. There's nothing you can do. And there's nothing about the world that you can really change to fix the darknesses that you see that have hurt you. So what do you do in the face of that? That's what matters. What can you do in the face of that? And the person who helped me, my husband, he told me that you have to just let go of all of this darkness that you can't do anything about and find something constructive and positive directly in front of you that you can make your life about. Whether that be caring for the ones you love. Maybe you have family members that are ill or old that you can take care of and make your life about serving them. Maybe there's a cause that you can give yourself to, like many of the white well-being people. They've had their lives ruined. They came from places of darkness and depression, and now they give themselves to socializing and online activism and spreading the lexicon of the Go Free method for the white well-being community. There are people who give themselves over entirely to religion. They become priests or nuns or something. Or, if it's not that extreme, they make their entire life about helping those in their church group, giving themselves and their time to charity drives and soup kitchens and things like that. I'm not saying that that's for everyone. I don't think that's particularly effective at fighting the things that are bad for us these days. But the point of this story is not about politics, and it's not even about the cultural, racial survival of Western kind. It's not about that today. It's about you finding something positive to live for that you generate, that you directly contribute to, and making your life about that. And in the last 3 years, I've changed a lot. Especially the last 2 years, I've become a much healthier, happier person doing that. That's why for the last 2 years, I have shared with you on this channel. I don't think you should care about big tent politics movements. I don't think that you should care about the state of the world or the state of your country, because there's not much you can do about it. You should care only in as much that you're aware of what's going on and leave it at that. There's a reason why many of us full-time frogs on the internet tell you to not doom scroll, because it messes with your mind, messes with you. So obviously you should heed my previous advice that I made a video on just a week or two ago. Don't doom scroll, don't do that. It's okay to know what's going on, but focus on your local area. Look at local news, talk to local people, get involved with local community groups, church groups, social clubs, things like that. Get to know the people that have interests that you have in your area. And if you don't have any and there's nothing of that to find, either start it or move somewhere where you can have a community. That was in a video previously, so we're not going to touch on that anymore. We're going to talk more about personal stuff now. Personal things that might eat at you. Failed relationships, feeling alone, feeling romantically and sexually inadequate, feeling that you are a miserable failure, that you are ugly and have nothing to offer anyone. If you believe and embrace that, you make that true. You fulfill that prophecy you created in your head. This is the power of positive assertion, positive thinking. All of us have flaws, myself included. All of us have uglinesses and failures and things that make us rotten. We all have those things. I especially have those things. Now, depression and suicide come to you and gnaw at you when you are not being positive, when you are not filling that necessary void in your life each day or each week with constructive actions that you know are good, that please you and you get happiness from. Now, on a small, tiny scale, that doesn't have to be anything grandiose or meaningful or impacting to your local community. It could be taking care of your dog or your cat. It could be revisiting novels or video games from your childhood. It could be going to the old folks' home where it's either your family member or not, and there's one old person you really like, and you go there every week or a couple times a week, and you relive old movies and TV shows with them and share positive love with them. That isn't changing the world. That isn't making anything better, but it's making you have something positive to live for. We need that stuff. You need that stuff. And so the advice and the encouragement that I give to you is in your life to fight depression and darkness and suicide and these ugly negative demiurges that claw at you and your psyche every day. You have to create and generate your own positivity. You have to make that in your life happen for you. You have to. No one's going to do it for you. You have to do it. And you also have to reject your own negative expression in your own mind of your assumed failure, of your assumed ugliness. Because if you focus on being stupid and ugly and a failure and, oh, nobody loves me, or I've got ADHD or autism, or I'm an incel neckbeard, and you let these things haunt you and define you by your own choice, you are creating that failed monster in reality. When you say, nobody can love me, I'm a mess, I can't ever be a husband or a wife, all these other things, and you focus on that, you make that prophecy come true because you are making yourself a nimbus of negativity that others don't want to be around. This is what life is. I'm sorry, there's no more to it than that. Depression and negativity will defeat you and define you if you let them. Doesn't matter how well off you were born, doesn't matter how handsome or beautiful you are physically, doesn't matter. If you believe these negative things about yourself, they become a self-fulfilling prophecy. So reject that. It doesn't matter if you have problems, if you were abused, depressed, maybe you used to be a drug addict, maybe you still are. Maybe you used to drink way too much. Maybe you used to be into philandering and womanizing or gambling. We all have had vices and problems with vices. Me too. But you know what? I got better. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. I stopped. I stopped being a degenerate. I stopped being a selfish fool. I stopped seeking hedonistic pleasure for no reason other than thinking that was the only thing in life worth doing. I got better. I got smarter. And I stopped letting that negative stuff control me and define me. You need to do that too. Your life has the meaning that you generate, that you control. That's all there is to it. And you have to do that, or you're going to be a miserable mess. And you're not going to be able to help others. You're not going to be able to have relationships and community if you become a self-fulfilling prophecy of negativity, uselessness, and what's another good adjective for that? If you become ugly, if you become a beacon of negativity, a negative Nancy, I don't know. I'm basically out of idioms, metaphors, and colloquialisms here at this point. I think that I've made my point today. You have to realize that embracing your shadow, your negativity, your darkness, your id, whatever you want to call it, if you let the demiurge into the driver's seat, you're going to chase away everyone and everything that could ever be good for you. So don't do that. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. It's not. I'm not telling you what's easy. I'm telling you what's true. And I'm telling you what works. And you need to fight for it. You need to find in yourself the strength to live and to persevere. Because that's what life is. survival over and overcoming the obstacles in front of us. And in this era, the obstacles in front of us are not tigers that are going to eat us. It's not surviving the cold winter by huddling in a cave. That's not the trials and the challenges in front of us today. The challenges and trials in front of us today are metaphysical ones, emotional ones, personal ones. And you have to beat those demiurges. You have to triumph over the shadow that claws at you and tries to feed you hopelessness and despair. Those things will kill you. They will render you ineffective. They will hollow you out and make you that self-fulfilled prophecy of ugliness. So don't do that. I recommend daily exercise, having as regular of a sleep schedule as you can, and finding little things in your life that bring you fulfillment, joy, or positivity, or some mix of all three. And doing as much of that as you can within reason to generate positive cultural expressions that come from you, your actions, your time. That will make you healthier. That will make you a stronger, better person. And I know that it might feel fake at first. It might feel like, oh, I'm just taking this is just a different version of taking a pill that a doctor prescribes. Everyone that I've tried to help, before they get to the actual helped part, they start rejecting it. That's the demiurge. That's the id holding you back. That's the shadow telling you, this is fake. This isn't going to work. This isn't real happiness. Nobody's really happy. It's all fake. Don't listen to that. If you believe in Christianity, that's the devil. If you believe in something else, that's whatever your negative demons or ettins or whatever it is in your belief. If you don't believe in any of that stuff, that's just general negativity. That is the ugliness, the entropy, the darkness in all of us, wanting you to fail, wanting you to lay down and die, wanting you not to fulfill anything useful or valid. Whatever it is you believe where that ugliness comes from, it's a real force. Metaphysics aside, it's a real force, a real thing, this shadowy evil negativity. You have to battle it and you have to defeat it. Because if not, you become a self-fulfilling prophecy of darkness and ugliness that others won't want to be around, and nothing really good will come from you. And you'll be miserable. I'm not telling you that if you do what I say, you'll have a perfect life and everything will be peachy keen, but at least it helps you fight depression, it helps you fight suicide, and it helps you fight this malaise that we all live in today of meaninglessness. You have to create it yourself, and you have to find the things in life, however simple they may be. You have to find them, and you have to make your life about that. And that's where we're going to end it today. I know this was a long one, but it's important. We cannot let ourselves give up. We have to be the best that we can. And I care about you. It doesn't matter if I don't even know you. I care about you. I want you to be healthier and wiser and smarter and better, to make our culture and our people better. Heal from this horrible sickness that's been rotting us for generations. And to my friend in Australia, I really do care about you. And I wish you the best. I hope that you can come out of this pit of negativity. I hope and pray for you every day. And all of my friends, the Old Glory Club, the other networks of friends that I've had, the White Wellbeing community, I love you guys too. I pray for you guys every day. I want us all to have success and well-being together. So, triumph over depression. Triumph over that negativity by generating your own positivity and focusing on just the things around you that you can control. We'll end it there. I'll see you for more Empire of Lies this Thursday, unless something comes up. And of course, have a great weekend, and get in touch with me if you want to come to the picnic next month. I love you guys. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.